I'm Shane Saunders, local real estate agent here in the Phoenix area. Phoenix native, my wife's actually a native also. Just never saw a need to go anywhere else, man. We love Phoenix.
My wife and I had a dream to one day live in another city. Through traveling, coming to Phoenix, Arizona, we fell in love with the city, with the people, and we decided that this is where we were going to make home.
When I was a kid, I was one of the few kids who was from the area, and now you meet all the kids are from here. Now we're starting to see people who are raising their families here.
I loved growing up in Phoenix. I mean, as a kid, there was wide open spaces that I could go ride my bicycle and do the things I want. I love the way the city's laid out. I love the people it attracts. Phoenix real estate is one of the strongest markets.
It's just a great place to live, and it's thriving. If you have an opportunity to move to Phoenix, whether it be job related or any other reason, if you're thinking about it, come spend some time out here. You'll fall in love with it.
There's just so many great family-friendly communities in the Phoenix area. I think Phoenix is what a big city should be.
Right now we're in the Willow Historic District. Just a really cool neighborhood, really old homes. Most of these homes have been completely gone through and remodeled within the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years. As you can kind of see, it's just a really neat area. For a few minutes when you're in Willow, you kind of forget that you're in Arizona. Really cool community. Once a year they do a Willow open house tour where just the owners of the homes, whether the houses are for sale or not, just open up their doors, and there's a big just community parade. They do community events. Most of the houses in Willow range, I think, as old as like 1902 we've seen. Probably the vast majority are built right around the late 20s, early 30s. So a lot of carriage houses in the back. In Willow, there's a pretty wide range of price point. You know, every now and then you can still pick up an unremodeled, more original home for anywhere in the high 200s, low 300s. And I mean, we've seen homes in Willow, you know, push the $1 million barrier if they're upgraded nicely. You're close walking distance, biking distance to downtown Phoenix. This is all kind of in the area that you consider the central corridor of Phoenix. A lot of farmers markets, arts fairs, craft fairs. They do a lot of food truck Fridays. You know, all these little historic neighborhoods have kind of formed their own community associations to just increase the community involvement and bring more awareness to these really cool historic neighborhoods.
Hi, my name's Alan Earl. I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah. I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona for the last 4 years. I was looking to get an MBA, and in being here every other weekend for a year, I fell in love with the city. So I told my wife, you've got to come down here and check this place out. This is where we want to live. Once I got here, I realized how many people are from another city and they adopt newcomers and the outsiders as their family because their families are, you know, back home where they're from. And so when you move, you have the adopted family mentality. You know, our first Christmas, our first Halloween, New Year's, Thanksgiving, we were doing it with our new families here, which are the people that, you know, our neighbors. I would tell anybody this is a city that offers everything to everybody. It is a melting pot. So it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from the South, you're from the East, from the West, wherever you're from, there are people from your cities and people from your states that live here already. And you can immediately fold yourself into the community. This is now my home. This is more home for me. And my business feels, I don't know, more content here than anywhere else. So it takes trust. What I do for a living is I'm an internet marketer. I own a company called Local One Internet Marketing that I started out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And we focus on 3 things for small businesses. We focus on sites, search, and social. And our target client is a dentist, doctor, lawyer, real estate agent. The small business culture in Phoenix is really fun. We notice that the small business owners are very passionate. They're very energetic. They love what it is that they do. There's so many of them out there that are absolutely committed to their craft. And there's so many different personalities. There's so few people that we run into that are actually from Phoenix. Everybody's from somewhere else, and this becomes the melting pot. So it's fun to meet the Phoenix business owner who's originally from Chicago or from Dallas or LA, but they live here and they've made it home just like we have. There is a lot of building going on right now. Commercial spaces, multi-tenant housing. I mean, it feels right now like there are construction signs and dumpsters and real estate signs everywhere because there's so much development happening. And I think it's because Phoenix is growing and preparing for those next booms, those next future years of growth. But there's so much opportunity and it's so centrally located. You're so close to LA. You're so easy to get to another big city, whether in Texas or Illinois or New York. Phoenix is just right in the middle, and I think it's a pit stop almost, as people are coming and going from different towns, different cities, and I think people stop and they never pick up and leave. People can transition from the tech bubble of Silicon Valley to Phoenix for a tremendous discount. And that's both in housing as well as the cost to run a business. I think searching for homes here from an outsider and not being familiar with the city at all was very intimidating. It is an enormous city. We checked out neighborhoods in North Scottsdale and down south in Chandler and Gilbert and Mesa, and you compare it to bigger cities, LA's and New York and places in Florida. I mean, Phoenix is a discount. But I think Phoenix has the perfect pricing model for just about everybody. I mean, there are the very expensive pockets and very expensive neighborhoods, and there's the very affordable neighborhoods as well. And I think there's something for just about everybody, from new construction to old established neighborhoods. This is a city with a great long-term future. This is a city that has growth and opportunity for years and years and years to come. And we're very confident in what's happening here from a growth and a business standpoint. And absolutely, this is where we want to be, and confident in where it's going.
I think one of the best parts about being a realtor is how involved it forces me to be in my local community. If I don't know what's going on in the local community, from businesses to job growth to schools, I can't really serve my clients well. I feel like it's my responsibility to get to know these people, to have a good understanding of what's going on in the area. Small businesses are extremely important in these communities to growth, and it's also a great indicator of what your neighborhood's like.
My name is Scott Starkey, and we are Muscle Maker Grill here in Peoria, Arizona. We are a fast, healthy concept restaurant that specializes in great food first. We specialize in meal plans, delivery, catering, pickups, phone-ins. However you need to get your food, we'll be happy to help you out.
So just leaving Muscle Maker Grill in Peoria, great local business, really good food, and it's healthy as well. Now we're heading to another local business, Hammer CrossFit.
Hi, my name is Joe Gallego. I own Hammer CrossFit in Peoria, Arizona. Actually, it started sort of as a labor of love. We wanted to find some ways to impact our community and be able to lead in a way we like to lead. And we started doing it in the garage. And the opportunity to move into this gigantic building came up, and we took it, and it's been a great ride ever since. We really feel connected to the Peoria environment. There's a great community here, and it allows us to kind of do the things we're trying to do, which is help people improve, not just physically, but through connection to other people. From a business perspective, the population density is fantastic in Peoria. We have a huge base of people that are right in the right sort of income range for a CrossFit gym near here. So we've got pretty steady and constant growth in Peoria. When I was a kid, I was one of the few kids who was from the area. And now all the kids are from here. So you're getting that sort of depth where people have roots here. It used to be a real transient area where primarily you had people who were moving here as a launching point. They would come here to move somewhere else, or they would come here because it was cold where they lived. But now we're starting to see people who are raising their families here. And I see people who recognize each other, not just from the gym, but from the grocery store, from the schools. You just see that deep connection kind of all over the place. Our business continues to thrive here. I think a lot of that has to do with the staff and the coaches and just sort of the connection we're able to make with the community. We've grown massively. We're well over 200 members now. It just continues to grow, and I think a lot of that has to do with leadership, coaching, and then the community itself.
So I wanted to introduce you guys to a good friend of mine, Mario Salazar, owner of Salazar's Detailing Service. Been in business about 5 years, I guess, and I think I've been a client of Mario's that entire time. So awesome guy, even better company, and thanks for doing this, Mario. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
Good to
Shane.
see you.
Thank you, buddy. Hello, my name is Mario Salazar. I'm the owner of Salazar's Detailing Service. It's a small business located here in the Phoenix metro area. It's very important to me and my guys that we do a top-notch quality job for you. The very first time that we were out there, it's really cool being a small business owner here in Arizona. You get to meet a lot of interesting people, make a lot of new connections and networks. It really gives me a chance to get out there and shake people's hands. So I really like to enjoy meeting those kind of people and learning their business.
So now we're heading to Arrowhead Mall in North Glendale. We're gonna spend some time with a friend of mine, Doug Butcher, owner of Industrial Ride Shop. Just a really cool skate and apparel shop. Doug's just an awesome guy.
Hello, my name's Doug Butcher. I'm one of the founding partners of Industrial Ride Shop based out of Phoenix, Arizona. We started here in Phoenix 20 years ago. Growing up, I'd always been an action sports enthusiast, whether it be skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, BMX, motocross. And in the 90s, with the explosion of the action sports and X Games and all that stuff, my partner actually, his mother came to us and said, why don't you guys start a store that does all that? And we started as a hobby out of a 1,000-square-foot strip mall. We didn't know if it was gonna work. We just knew that our love and passion for the industry was there. And so we said, hey, you know what, let's make this thing work. Next thing you know, action sports started taking off and we just started rolling it. And we've expanded to 16 locations, basically all high-end regional malls. And we found out, you know, at an early stage, it was all about just hiring the right people and just really being cool to people who come into the store and just, you know, making it a great experience for the consumers. It's been great owning and starting a business here in Arizona, and the reasons why is there's not a lot of state regulations to get in your way, and the state is very proactive on helping small businesses succeed. Our state legislature understands how important small business is to the local economies. I loved growing up in Phoenix. I mean, as a kid, there was wide open spaces that I could go ride my bicycle and do the things I want. People out here are very active. They have a very active lifestyle. I've traveled every state in this country, and the state of Arizona is one of the most amazing places. If you take the time to get to see it, within an hour I can be in the woods, I can be hiking in the Red Rocks. I mean, there's just so much to do. To me, I've always felt that Phoenix real estate is one of the strongest markets. I love the way the city's laid out. I love the people it attracts. I love how the city of Phoenix and the city of Scottsdale have put aside mountain preserves areas. Having it spread out, it seems very affordable. It is a great place to start a business, to raise a family especially. You know, people here really, really do care. Come here and check it out. I call this place God's country. And I'm sure everybody probably calls their hometown God country, but really come here, check it out, visit the Phoenix area, take a good look at the neighborhoods. Plus, take a little drive around the state and look at some of the places we have to offer just, within a 2-hour drive, how you can be in the woods, you can be up in Sedona, and just spend a week here looking at the local culture, and you'll be blown away.
My name is Danny G. I'm the Southwest sales rep for Van Shoes. My personal relationship with Doug and Industrial started about 12 years ago. I guess you could say he's kind of mentored me all the way up to where I can work for a brand like Vans. I've been coming out to Phoenix for about 20 years now for skateboarding purposes. I just fell in love with Phoenix early on from the climate to the skate scene out here is just thriving. It's actually better than California. Arizona, it just has this kind of Wild West feel to it. We don't have a lot of, I guess you're gonna wanna maybe bleep this, but bullshit laws. There's not a lot of hang-ups. We can have endless skate parks. They kind of self-govern themselves. There's nobody there to make sure that you're wearing pads. There's no rules. They say, hey, this skate park is for you guys, the skateboarders. Go do your thing, Keep graffiti out of there. And the skateboarders, they run their own parks. I would say that's what I really like about Arizona is it's a very free state still. You can carry guns. There's no motorcycle helmet laws. It trips me out, when I spend a lot of time in California, I come out here. I've been coming out here for 20 years. I still can't get used to seeing people ride in the back of pickup trucks. Because if you do that in California, they'll throw you in jail for like 5 years or something crazy like that. Another thing that I really love about Arizona, I feel Arizona has the most beautiful scenery. Our sunsets are a little bit better. Our neighborhoods. I will put Phoenix, Arizona up against, or the Valley in general, up against anywhere else I've traveled in the country as far as historic neighborhoods go. Phoenix is an awesome place to live. I call it a very realistic place to live because in Arizona, you can buy a really cool historic home right outside of downtown right now and have it paid off in 15 years. When you cross that border of California and Arizona, there's a lot of similarities, but you really do feel a difference of you could just breathe a little more in Arizona.
The Phoenix market is extremely strong. It's extremely solid, and I don't see that changing. The thing that builds a lot of confidence for me in our market is when I look at all of these big corporations and businesses that are continuing to invest in the local economy, continuing to expand, whether it's Air Force Base, GoDaddy, Amazon, that's a very good indicator that the housing market is very solid as well.
We're really optimistic for the future when it comes to Peoria. You can see the growth happening on all the on the outskirts of Peoria, but then you have neighborhoods like the ones that are directly around here that have been here for years and are still thriving, and they look healthy. They don't have that rundown feel. The schools are great. There's just a lot of potential energy in this part of the state.
I had the unique opportunity to bring my business with me from Salt Lake City. Phoenix, immediately, it just started to work. It clicked. It felt comfortable being here. I realized that, the environment here, the people, the small business community, the entrepreneurial community, the startups, the venture capitalists, there's so much happening in Phoenix that it just made it easy. It made it attractive as the place that I wanted to stay.
I think that the climate here is very attracting to people, and it seems like everybody who comes to Phoenix loves it. So I think the economy is still going to keep on growing here.
Another exciting thing that I love about Phoenix that's unique to it, unlike LA or some of the other bigger cities, is that housing is really affordable here. For instance, in my neighborhood, all the homes are around a lower than $200,000 price range. So unlike LA and those places, you can't afford to move here with your family.
There's just so many great family-friendly communities in the Phoenix area. From pretty much anywhere in the Phoenix metro area, even in the suburbs, you're maybe 20 minutes from multiple mountains to go hike. Entertainment is just great. We have a ton of restaurants, a lot of local microbreweries, and it's all affordable. I think Phoenix is what a big city should be.